Good morning. Hello. We are back in Connecticut. We're back in New Haven. We have a couple of days here and we're just gonna get back into my life as a PhD student. I feel like it's been really difficult to juggle starting a new business, running Accepted, preparing for the debate at the Oxford Union, and managing to get words on the page. And I feel like I've been a bit distracted recently. So I'm happy to be back and to head back into the library. There are a lot of books that I need to take with me and just continuously renew until I graduate, because I have been really struggling to access certain materials while in London, and I'm meeting with my advisor. So we're gonna do just a single day, and then I'm hoping to do another vlog for the rest of the time that I'm here. But I'm here alone. It feels a bit odd to be back, mostly because everything feels the same, except none of the people are the same. I was walking around campus when I got here yesterday and realized that all the students that I taught 3 years ago have graduated. They're not here anymore. And a lot of the students that are in the same cohort as me, or that came, a year or two after me when I was still living here, are ABD now, and they're also out writing their dissertations. So it's a bit odd to be back and to feel like it's an entirely different experience. I'm actually staying very close to where my apartment was. However, the flat that I am staying in, I would not recommend on Airbnb because it is above a club. And that club did not close until 1 a.m. last night. And so I was sleeping with earplugs and with my big AirPod over the head headphones, blasting brown noise to try to make it possible for me to go to sleep. But of course that meant that I couldn't sleep on my side. So a bit of a rough night. I was quite jet lagged when I got in yesterday from London, but I'm feeling good today. And we're gonna head to none other than Atticus to grab some coffee and a pastry. They are doing a booming trade. I went in there yesterday. It was so busy, even though it was a Sunday afternoon. So we're gonna go there, get some brekkie, and then head straight to the Sterling. I have a meeting with my advisor at noon, so I want to do as much prep in advance of that as possible. So time to pack up my bag and head to campus. All right, I've had my breakfast at Atticus, which was wonderful. The woman that used to work there, I hope she's still there, but she wasn't, and she was the one who would always remember my name. But had a really nice breakfast, had a pumpkin latte, which to be honest, like didn't really taste like a pumpkin at all. Just kind of tasted like a regular latte. But I'm gonna head into the Sterling, and the first order of business is ordering the books. So I need to get Wesley Craven's book on the dissolution of the Virginia Company. There's a couple from Warren Billings. I picked up one yesterday, but I think there's a few more that I need to collect. And I think I might benefit from actually going up in the stacks. I never did it when I was a student doing coursework. I almost said when I was a student here. I am still a student here, technically. But I never actually went up into the stacks to see what they have in the colonial Virginia section. So that might be helpful because that's what I typically do when I go to Oxford. So we're gonna do that. And then the main goal for this morning is to make a plan for my meeting with my advisor this afternoon. We're meeting for lunch. And for some reason, I can't get my email to work on my phone, so I'm gonna have to wait till I get inside to see where they said we should meet up. But it's a beautiful New Haven day, sunny, and all the autumn leaves are like just about to completely fall off, so I'm glad I got here before they were gone. And yeah, it feels a little weird being in New Haven and not really recognizing anyone, but let's head to the library. All right, we're leaving the library. I have ordered, I don't even know how many books. I think it's like 5. I'm sorry, it's really windy. But I'm heading over to meet my advisor. We're gonna go to Shere Khan, which is one of my favorite Indian spots, or like basically the only Indian spot in New Haven that I used to go to. And then it'll be back to the library to work on chapter 2. I'm finding some stuff for chapter 3 that's really helpful that I want to discuss with them, but it's not that helpful for chapter 2, other than kind of setting the foundation, because one of the complaints that Governor Berkeley makes to the king in 1662 is essentially that they've prioritized tobacco, and he's kind of irritated that the crown essentially hasn't invested in Virginia's ability to create a more financially viable crop, and that they believe that they're kind of being strangled by not being able to have more, I guess, like open trade, because they are only able to trade with select merchants from England. So anyway, I find it interesting. I don't know if you guys find it interesting, but that's what I was looking at this morning. And now I'm off to go meet my advisor. Walking through campus for the first time in a while. It feels kind of weird. I had such a good meeting with my advisor. I actually think it was the best one I've ever had with them. We met up at Shere Khan, had lunch, and talked about the dissertation, par for the course, just kind of the plan, and some just decent rating advice and whatnot. But the thing that I think made this meeting the best was that we got to talk about my career as a historian. And I wrote on Substack this article where I was just reflecting on coming back to New Haven and just feeling like I'm surrounded by this kind of like ghost of what I thought my career could and was going to look like. But because of the state of academia, the state of the humanities, that it just feels like that career is no longer available. We got to talking about that, and we were specifically talking about how I, in a way, like get to build this new definition of what a historian could look like because of YouTube and because of Substack and because of some of the public access work I'm trying to do. They were just really encouraging about it and, basically said, you're kind of paving the way for a different kind of profession. You're kind of making the career for yourself. And it was just a conversation that I really needed to have today after just feeling, I guess, like a bit forlorn, just feeling like I'm kind of grieving the career that I had wanted and feeling like, actually I did that. I created the YouTube channel. I started becoming an entrepreneur because it looked like I needed to give myself other options, but that this YouTube channel and Substack give me the chance to do this historical work, to talk about history in a way that connects with more people. And that has been really special. So had a really nice chat with them. We had such a nice lunch, and now I'm going to head back to the library. I had to come back because I had so much left over that I needed to put in the fridge. And I also really wanted to change clothes because I was just feeling quite sweaty in what I was wearing. So I just changed into some good old athleisure that wouldn't feel professional enough to wear to a meeting with my advisor. So we're gonna get back to the Sterling and continue working on the disc, but I kind of want to stop for a boba on the way or maybe another coffee because I'm just flagging a little bit now that I am still trying to catch up on jet lag. But it was such a good meeting, and now let's head back to campus. It's very dark, but I am leaving the library now. Had a good working session on chapter 3, and I'm hoping that with a little bit more work tomorrow, I'll be able to start really writing on Wednesday. Today's Monday. So I'll do a little bit more in the notes tomorrow, and then hopefully be able to really write on Wednesday. But I have a rental car, and I desperately need to go pick up a few things at Target. So we are going to go pick it up and go on a little adventure. Go pick up a few things. I, for example, don't have shampoo and conditioner, so I need to pick that up. And it's early enough that I think Trader Joe's is still open. So I think I might also make a quick stop at Trader Joe's for a few little things. I don't have much room left in my suitcase, despite having just got here, because I had to pick up the library book. So I need to be a little careful about how much I pack or how much I buy. So I went to Atticus yesterday and needed to remember not to buy any books. And also books are way more expensive here anyway. So, anywho, let's go pick up the car and grab some dinner, go to Target, and that's basically all I have planned today. I don't have any friends. I don't have anybody to hang out with. So all I'm doing is just vibing out in New Haven and working on the dissertation. Just like old times. Okay, I'm back from my outing. My bag is full of books, and I figured I would just do a little haul for you guys, because why the heck not? So, from the library, I got 3 books. We've got The Dissolution of the Virginia Company by Wesley Craven. I also have Sir William Berkeley and the Forging of Colonial Virginia by Warren Billings. And then I have Slave Laws in Virginia by Philip Schwartz. Classics. And from Target, I had to buy a flat iron because I don't know what happened to mine, but I broke it somehow. And it's probably for, I don't know, for maybe non-use, but it broke. And I don't have a flat iron that works in the US. So I just got the drugstore one. And that'll live in my suitcase for the 1 or 2 times a year I visit the United States. I also got some shampoo. I get a lot of random questions about my hair care, which, by the way, I think hair care is a bit of a scam on social media. This is my hot take, because everybody's like hair texture and the actual like protein makeup of your individual hair makes such a big difference in what products actually work for you. So I have a rather wide array of mixed genetics, and so I have very, very thick, coarse, very, very coarse hair, but I also have a lot of it. And typically the recommendation is basically to not use very much conditioner on your hair because it can make it very greasy and oily. But because my hair is so coarse and dry, I have to use like half a bottle every time I condition my hair or wash my hair, because nothing else like penetrates the actual strand. And I don't do anything special. I really don't. I wash my hair. Nexus is pretty much the only brand that I can use that my hair seems to like and doesn't throw a hissy fit over. So I just got the Color Assure. Nexus is the only brand I've ever really been able to use since college. And it doesn't really matter which mix I use. I've used the color one, I've used the other ones. Any one of them seems to work, but Nexus is the brand that my hair seems to like. I also picked up 2 other very exciting things. A travel razor and deodorant. I will say, going back to a grocery store in America, or going back to like a convenience store, I suppose. I don't know how you would classify Target. It's not a department store. Anywho, going back to, let's say, a convenience store, I just feel like everything feels so cheap. Not in price, but like in quality and whatnot, because there's just so much stuff like trying to get your attention. And I was walking through and there's just like so many weird amalgamations of things now. Like there was an Oreo Reese's peanut butter cup thing. And there's all this freeze-dried candy and all these like random clothes. And I don't know, there was just something about the experience that just felt very unenjoyable to me. Like there's so much stuff, there's so much advertising coming at you that it feels overwhelming. And maybe that's why most of my shopping is done online now. But I just don't feel like department stores and whatnot in the UK feel the same. Like they don't feel as like bright and overwhelming. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Also, I'm noticing, I said this on Instagram, that people here actually make eye contact and smile at each other. That's been nice. I will say that I miss. People in London and in big cities tend to avoid eye contact, and they just like kind of keep their head down and they just get on with things. I don't like that. I like people, generally speaking, and I like, you know, making eye contact and smiling and hopefully making somebody feel better and hoping that, you know, it makes a positive impact on their day. But that apparently is not, that's not the way of the Brits. My partner thinks it's weird that I do that. But he also hasn't made random friends with strangers like I have. So I personally see that as a win. You know what? He might not agree with me, and that's fine. That's his prerogative. But it's been a very long day. I'm surprised that I'm not completely flat out right now. But it is now time to shower and to get into bed and to just watch The Summer I Turned Pretty. I want to read, but I didn't bring books that I'm like that hooked into at the moment. I brought The Two Towers, so the second book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and I brought Tiananmen Square by, I can't remember the author's name, but I'm just getting into it, and it's not about Tiananmen Square. It's like set in Beijing, but it's like set in the 70s. I'm reading a lot of Chinese historical fiction at the moment, and that is one of them, and it is good. I haven't like gone to the point of the book where I can't put it down yet. And I know that means I probably just need to push through, but to be honest, I am so tired. My brain, like if I were to read right now, I would fall asleep like that. And I have to stay up, not that much longer, but at least like another hour in order to get acclimated to the time zone, because last night was a rough night. So I'm gonna go ahead and shower and get tucked into bed. And then we're gonna watch The Summer I Turned Pretty, because it's like my favorite show at the moment. It's my obsession. I did actually finish all of season 3, and so now I'm going back and rewatching the entire thing. I really wish I had like a fun little romance novel to read at the moment, but I went and looked at the selection at Target, and oh my god, the books here are so freaking expensive. Like $20 for a paperback. What the hell? That's like £8 back in the UK. I mean, if you can do the conversion, it's probably like $10. But still, that's still half. That's still half. Mind you, it's like $18.99 before tax in the US. So books are like half price in the UK. So if you say that I have a book buying problem, you're right. But also, this is my excuse. I'm from America, where books cost an arm and a freaking leg. And I need to stop talking now, because I've been rambling for 8 minutes. And this is what happens when I am left to my own devices without friends, is that I talk to my camera a lot. And this is probably why I was so productive. This is why I was so productive and made so many videos back when I lived in New Haven. It's because I was lonely. I've had so much fun filming today. I've had a good day. Let's take a shower, get into bed, and watch The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Even my dream life is complicated.